John Stockton.
Bob Cousy.
John Stockton.
Bob Cousy.
John Stockton.
Bob Cousy.
Eating up the clock. Russell with a inbound at half court.
Fighting that time for that final shot into McCollum. Now Cousy has it. He makes it.
Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
On this episode of Basketball Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two of the greatest floor generals in NBA history.
This iconic Celtics guard was the heartbeat of Boston's offense during their historic dynasty in the 1960s.
His NBA records are considered unbreakable, cementing his legacy as the most prolific passing point guard the league has ever seen.
Both of these players could thread a pass through a keyhole from half court with ease.
We are eager to present to you John Stockton and Bob Cousy. I'm Lucas.
I'm Maurice.
And I'm Uriah.
And we're here to talk basketball.
Legends of the game.
All right, welcome back to our show. We are in the midst of a rebrand. So if you're wondering why we did not say NBA Now and Then, we are now officially Basketball Now and Then, which opens up a lot of more options for us to cover with our comparisons, which I'm excited about. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm ready to do some G League and some college stuff. I'm excited.
Yeah, with the tournament going on right now, that would be perfect. What about you, Maurice?
Yeah, more international, maybe WNBA, something like that. Anything with a basketball we could talk about.
I would love to do a college comparison of Eric Devendorf. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was a Syracuse guy. He was
I tweeted, I can't remember the account right now, but I tweeted, and Uriah tweeted to me yesterday, a comparison of Fab Five versus the UNLV, the Running Rebels.
Ooh, that would be spectacular, right?
That would be,
Who won a 7-game series? I don't know.
Larry Johnson versus, was it Larry Johnson versus C. Webb? That would be interesting.
Ooh, I got another good one. Hakeem Thabeet or Roy Hibbert college versions.
Okay, a little Georgetown action in UConn,
Georgetown,
right?
UConn, yeah.
There's Lucas with his big
There's so
man.
many possibilities.
Talking about his big man.
Hey, what can I say?
Well,
we're not talking big men today.
Yeah, we're going to the small guys, two guys that are synonymous with two franchises. If you don't know who we're talking about, today we're going to be comparing the great Bob Cousy and John Stockton. Let's go to Lucas first. Tell us why we're comparing these players.
Well, with both of these guys, you got to think of a pass-first mentality, elite playmaking. Both Cousy and Stockton defined what it meant to be a true point guard, right? Cousy revolutionized ball movement with flashy, creative passes, while Stockton mastered precision and efficiency, rarely wasting a dribble. Each made their teammates better before looking for their own shot. Not only that, they're both like assist leaders in their eras. Cousy led the league in assists 8 straight seasons. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about that too much nowadays. But Stockton, on the other hand, holds the all-time NBA record for assists by a huge margin. Like, it's probably never going to get beaten. In their respective eras, no one controlled the flow of the offense like they did.
Yeah, I think the assists, people don't give Cousy enough shine because he was always on the team with who, Bill Russell, right? Yeah. And Cousy is a huge part of the reason why that dynasty lasted as long as it did. And his assists, like you said, Lucas, were instrumental in making that become a reality. But Maurice, what about you? Why do you think we're comparing these 2 point guards today?
Yeah, to piggyback off of assist leaders, both of these guys were floor generals. Both had high basketball IQ. You could easily say both of them function as coaches on a court. And for Cousy, he eventually did become a coach. But in Cousy's era, it was less structured, but he still improved. He still improvised. And we all consider him, we get into the, we all hear the clips on YouTube. He was like the wizard with the basketball. Yeah. He was the first one to really do behind the back passes and all
that. The hardwood Houdini.
Yeah.
I like that.
Look at you
Like-
giving away my segment, man.
Hey,
That's my. I do the nicknames, Lucas.
Hey,
Come on.
look, I wrote a 30-page paper on his teammate. Of course, I'm going to pick up a few things about him too.
Yes, you did. Yep.
Yes, he did. And Stockton, he executed the offense, the pick and roll offense of his coach to a T. Him, and we're going to get into his teammates, but yeah, one of the best teammates of all time. Both of them have really different styles, but it really came down to the same results, which is total command of the game and the team. And also, they're both 6'1", pretty much undersized guards for any era, no matter if the 50s or the 2000s. They played against bigger, faster players, but they still both had skill, vision, and toughness throughout their careers.
Speaking of toughness, I'll add to that the whole idea of longevity. When you play at that level, being undersized, you're going up against guys bigger and stronger than you. And despite that, we're talking both guys played a long time in the NBA. Cousy had a long run of dominance, particularly in the 50s. Stockton played 19 seasons, guys, and he did not miss many games. So both were incredibly durable and reliable over time. And to you guys mentioning Bill Russell and Lucas writing a college thesis on that, look, Cousy and Russell is the same as Stockton and Malone. You mention one and you immediately think of the other. And also the chemistry between those bigs with their point guards had a defining impact on their offense. So this is going to be an interesting comparison. We usually don't go back that far in NBA eras in the 50s and 60s. So it'll be interesting to hear Lucas mention stats and obviously teammates from Maurice, who's probably going to name players we've never heard of.
Yes,
but
yeah.
that's what we do.
I've heard of them.
Well, we all. You're probably the super duper NBA nerd amongst the group.
No. I have a cheat code, but that's fine.
Yes, you do. All right. So with or without a cheat code, you guys all set for this comparison?
Absolutely.
Yes.
First quarter, background.
All right. We're going to start with Stock. Before he got that nickname, he was born John Houston Stockton. Now, when people talk about the greatest point guards in NBA history, his name seemingly always rises to the top. But long before the assist records and the Hall of Fame speeches, John Stockton was just a kid growing up in Spokane, Washington. Quiet, competitive, already learning how to see the game a little differently than everyone else. He was born on March 26 in 1962 in a tight-knit, sports-loving family. His grandfather is considered one of the best college football players at the University of Gonzaga. Did you guys know that? His grandfather played football there?
No, but I knew that Gonzaga had a football team until about World War II, I think.
All right. Well, you guys being 14 Rings podcasters, I figured I'd throw a little football nugget for you. He was actually a halfback who later went on to play pro football before the NFL was even established.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
John Stockton's grandfather. Yeah. Big time football player.
Okay.
So, like a lot of kids, Stockton did not limit himself to one game growing up. He played football, baseball, and obviously basketball, moving from sport to sport while sharpening his instincts as an athlete. But basketball slowly became the one that stuck. Trivia. Which of these is not true about John Stockton growing up? A, he would stay up late until 11 p.m. shooting hoops outside. B, he practiced chest passes using tennis balls. Or C, he would practice dribbling in the dark down in his basement. Let's go with Maurice first. Which one do you think did he not do?
Past 11 p.m.
Dribbling in the dark.
Okay, our dribbling in the dark. Both are wrong. The correct answer is the chest passes with tennis balls, which seems kind of hard to do, right? How would you
I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it would seem difficult.
There's always a story of someone saying, oh, when he was a kid, he would stay outside shooting late at night. So he definitely did that. And he would turn off the lights when he was in the basement so he could practice his dribbling skills. All right. So spending hours dribbling, passing, and imagining plays before they happen, Stockton began developing the court vision that would one day define his career. You guys want to hear a story about when he played in a tournament in Seattle when he was an 8th grader?
Sure.
All right, first thing I'll say is he was 85 pounds at this point in his life. So this is
8th grade,
fascinating.
85, not impossible. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. From an article in the Spokesman Review, Coach Kerry Pickett recalled how their best player fouled out of a game, and John Stockton had to go into the game and lead his team. He went out and he scored 10 points in overtime to lead his team to a win. His coach said, quote, "He was always able to do more than you thought he could." It's interesting, right? 85 pounds.
85 pounds. I mean, that means he probably was only like 5'2", 5'4", maybe.
Oh, he was a little guy. He was tiny for sure.
Yeah.
So that type of gutsy play followed him to Gonzaga Prep School in Spokane. Now, playing for Gonzaga Prep, Stockton carved out a reputation as the kind of player that every coach loves: steady, smart, relentlessly competitive. While other players were chasing highlight plays, Stockton focused on the details, threading passes through tight spaces and controlling the rhythm of the game like a quiet conductor guiding an orchestra. And while he didn't look like the typical star athlete, the numbers told a different story. By his senior year, John Stockton was averaging over 20 points per game and earning all state honors in Washington. Night after night, he proved that basketball IQ could be just as powerful as raw athleticism. Quick over-under. John Stockton's shooting percentage his senior year of high school, over under 55%. Lucas?
For a point guard, when do you play? Like the early 80s, so they might have not had 3-pointers back then. Yeah, I'll say over 55.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over.
All right, you guys are correct. He shot 58% as a 6'1" guard in high school. That's
An
nuts.
average 20 points per game. That's the crazy. I want to know how many free foul shots he got per game. That's what I want to know.
All right, well, you're going to have to wait for that because I don't have that.
No.
So I do want to go to you
I
guys.
can definitely see that, though.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, let me come to you guys. What stands out to you about John Stockton growing up as a kid?
Look, Washington is known for their basketball players. John Stockton is just an early example of that. The state of Washington, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, I think we've covered players from Washington. Wasn't not Blake Griffin, Paolo Washington,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
And who else did we cover? Zach LaVine, right?
Yeah. Have we done? No, we haven't done. What's his name? Jamal Crawford yet, but he's from there too.
That's right. He is. Oh, he's on our list. Absolutely. Yes. Maurice, anything stand out about Stockton growing up?
Well, the high field goal percentage really stands out because he was always an efficient shooter, even in the NBA. He picked the spots offensively, and he knew where to go with the basketball. Most of the time, it was to facilitate. But when John Stockton wanted to score, either it was a pull-up from 12 feet or it was some type of backdoor layup, something like that.
Yeah, and the articles that I read, they mentioned he would get to the hole quite a bit, and he would get a lot of layups because he's shifty. I mean, he's for that era, he was shifty and fast enough, and he always had this scoop shot that's hard to block. So even though he was undersized, he found a way to score. So John Stockton did not arrive on the basketball college scene as a can't-miss star, but by the time he left, he had quietly built one of the most impressive resumes in the country. Staying close to home, Stockton chose to play at Gonzaga University, a program that at the time was not exactly a national powerhouse. And early on, blending into the background and coming off the bench, he didn't draw much attention. But things started to shift as his role expanded, handling the ball more, controlling the tempo, and showcasing a level of court vision that would soon become his trademark. By his junior and senior seasons, Stockton was running the show, piling up assists, knocking down shots with efficiency, and dictating the flow of the game. He transformed Gonzaga into a competitive force. He earned some impressive honors. You guys want to hear them?
Yes.
First of all, he led the conference in assists multiple times. He was 2 times All WCAC, and he was the 1983-84 WCAC Player of the Year. For his career at Gonzaga, he led the conference in minutes played twice as well, which is no surprise. Now, what made Stockton special was not flash, it was precision. Reading defenses, threading impossible passes, and making everyone around him better. He was already playing the kind of basketball that would define his pro career. Did he ever lead Gonzaga to the NCAA tournament? What do you think, Maurice? Yes or no?
I think I would have remembered that. I would say no.
All right, Lucas.
I wasn't alive, so I'm going to go with Maurice on that one.
All right, you are correct. You guys, he did not, believe it or not, make it to the NCAA tournament.
That's weird because like
interesting.
Gonzaga is like that mid-major powerhouse.
Yeah, now we know them as that, but before that, no one knew where Gonzaga was, right? Now, unfortunately, his stellar statistical years at Gonzaga was not enough for him to make the 1984 Olympic team. Can you guys guess what 3 other players were cut by Bobby Knight the same time that Stockton was cut? They all played in the NBA, by the way. So go ahead and throw some names out. Well, who was it?
It was Charles Barkley.
As one.
Because of his weight. I know that one. I want to say Jay Humphries.
That's a good guess, but no, not Jay Humphries. I'll give you a hint. One of them played for Portland. He was a point guard.
Oh,
Rod Strickland?
Not Strickland.
No, Terry Porter?
Yep, Terry Porter is the second, and there's one more that I didn't even know. I'll just give it to you. His name is Maurice Martin.
Maurice Martin.
Yeah,
Okay.
I never heard of him, but shout out Maurice.
He played 2 years in the NBA. Same name, right?
Yeah.
He played a couple years in the NBA, but didn't really pan out for him. So here's what John Stockton said about getting cut. He said in an interview, I played hard, but I didn't play with a lot of concentration in the first 2 practices. I guess I was concentrating on trying to get into the offense and trying to do other things rather than just playing. Now, even though Gonzaga was not a household name yet, Stockton's performance, steady, smart, and incredibly effective, put both himself and the program on the map, setting the stage for everything that came next. So what stands out to you guys about him playing at Gonzaga?
The fact is that, he didn't, despite not making the NCAA tournament, and I'm going to steal your thunder here, he still was a first-round pick.
Yes.
So that's probably the most impressive thing, right? And he was almost, one of the last cuts for Team USA for, back in the Olympics back then.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was hoping someone would bring that up, and you definitely did. The whole idea that he didn't have that exposure on a national level in the tournament, but he still was picked high in the draft by Utah.
If he wasn't going that Olympic team, we would have had Stockton, Jordan. Who was the small forward? I remember the small forward.
It might have been Charles Smith. I think Charles Smith made the 84. Chris Mullin was on that team too.
Chris
I think.
Mullin, yeah. Man, that would have been a really good team. I mean, young, but it still would have been a talent on that team to win whatever gold medal they're going for. Besides that, when you think of Gonzaga, John Stockton is one of the first names that come to mind, and he kind of started the new era or generation of Gonzaga basketball being actually competitive. Now, they're a powerhouse and they're a contender for a national championship each year. And they bring in a lot of good guys, too. They bring in a lot of good recruits.
Yeah. Yeah, we could say that John Stockton put that team on the map.
Yeah.
You could argue he should have been 4th in that draft.
In 84?
Well, yeah, 4th.
Oh.
You have Michael Jordan, Hakeem.
He was a better prospect than Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley would have been 3rd.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sam Bowie.
Yeah. No, Charles would have been 3rd. Stockton 4th. Sam Perkins 5th.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Willis, depending on your preference, I guess.
There you have it. Lucas gave us a re-ranking of the 84 draft. Stockton should have been picked higher, and that's great. I agree with that 100%. But now we're going to go to the other side of the comparison, and we're going to talk about a point guard that preceded Stockton, but also made as much noise as Stockton did as well. All right, it's time to talk about Coos, a.k.a. the Houdini of the hardwood. Thanks, Lucas, for stealing my thunder.
Yeah, no problem.
a.k.a. Flenchy, a.k.a. the Frantic Frenchman. Before he got those nicknames, he was born Robert Joseph Cousy. When you talk about the pioneers of basketball creativity, the story of Bob Cousy really begins long before the bright lights of the NBA. It starts in the streets of New York City, where the rhythm of the game and the rhythm of the city seem to move together. Cousy was born August 9th, 1928 in Manhattan. Yeah, I think that's our oldest player, right? I don't think we've covered anybody.
Unless we're counting when we talked about Pistol Pete's dad. Yeah, definitely the oldest.
Yeah, but we didn't feature his dad. We featured Pistol. Pistol's not that old. No, he's not that old. Yeah.
No.
And bless him because he's still out and about.
Yep.
Still here with us.
Yeah, he is. So growing up in a crowded neighborhood during the Great Depression, life was not exactly cushioned. His family spoke mostly French at home, so young Bob Cousy entered school barely speaking English. Now, imagine trying to find your footing in a new language while also navigating the rough and tumble streets of New York.
His family were immigrants from France, though, right?
Yes. Yep. His dad drove a taxi and did not have a lot of money. That era it's the Depression, right?
Yeah.
Great Depression.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question for you guys, trivia. As a kid, which one of these is true about Bob Cousy? A, he played stickball. B, he played box ball. C, he would steal hubcaps. Or D, all the above.
All the above. When a teacher gives out the answer D, all the above, it's always all the above.
Yeah, it's all the above. Stickball was definitely a thing. Yeah, I mean, that was easy.
I know stickball was a thing, and stealing hubcaps back in the 30s. Yeah, that sounds like a thing.
You might have to Google box ball. I never heard of that.
Yeah,
one.
box ball. Yeah, please do find what box ball is, Maurice.
It sounds like a
tag
poor
us.
man's version of hockey or soccer.
Box ball. Yeah, let's get an empty box and throw balls in there.
I mean,
that's what it sounds like.
I mean,
don't know.
look, they used peach baskets for the original game of basketball. Just saying. I mean,
Yeah, and then the ball didn't go all the way through. Remember, they had to get a stick to push it out.
yeah.
That was around his era.
It was. So in many ways, that environment shaped him. The playgrounds became his classroom, and the courts became kind of a second language for him. Now, spending hours dribbling on uneven pavements, Cousy began experimenting, spinning the ball behind his back, slipping passes through imaginary defenders, moving with a kind of improvisation that felt more like jazz than organized sport. As a teenager, his life took an unexpected turn. A serious injury nearly derailed his ability to play. He broke his right arm, which meant months away from the game. But adversity, well, sometimes it rewrites the script. And while recovering, Cousy began practicing with his left hand, learning to control the ball in ways that most players never bothered to try. True or false? Bob Cousy was cut twice from his high school team. I'll go with Lucas first.
I'm going to say true.
I'm going to say false.
All right. Lucas, this is for you. You're correct. He apparently Andrew Jackson High was a powerhouse school during that time with over 5,000 students, and 250 of them were trying to go out for the basketball team.
Wow.
So Cousy was cut twice. Go figure. Once he found his rhythm, things changed quickly. His passing began dazzling teammates and confusing defenders, threading the ball through tight spaces. And watching Cousy play was a little like watching a magician shuffle cards. One quick motion, and then suddenly the ball was somewhere that nobody expected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by his senior year, he had become one of the most exciting players in New York City high school basketball. Coaches and fans might not have fully understood his style yet, but they knew they were seeing something different. What stands out to you guys about him growing up during the Depression era in New York?
Huge struggle. Everything was a struggle back then, probably. That's like a tenth of what we would have to think about. And for him to still have a love for the game, even after getting cut twice by his high school
Right.
team. We mentioned Michael Jordan get cut once. He got cut twice.
And speaking about struggling, I think financially, I remember reading that his dad, it took him like many years just to save up $500 so they could move out of that part of Manhattan to, I think, the Bronx, if I'm not mistaken. The Bronx or Queens. I think it's Queens. But anyway, yeah, times are rough. They were rough for everyone. But Lucas, what stands out to you?
The main thing I wanted to talk about was the dribbling with the left hand. Now, I know you brought that up as an important fact because most players, and you could say that Bob Cousy is the grandfather of, like dribbling skills. If you think about Isaiah Thomas, Kyrie Irving, Bob Cousy started it all. And it's because he became ambidextrous with his dribble. Not many players were ambidextrous with their dribble back then.
I wonder, Lucas, if he doesn't break his arm, does he become as skilled with his left hand?
That is a fair question. It might have been a blessing in disguise. Really, I think you got to think about playing even stickball. That's basically the size of a baseball. You're trying to hit that with a tiny little stick. Narrow margins, being able to do that type of stuff. That's all important here. And I think all those games and all the breaking the arm made him who he became.
Yeah, good points. Does anybody know what college Bob Cousy attended?
I did, but I saw it when I was
just
looking
looked it up.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if Maurice knows.
Yeah.
Do you know what college he attended?
I know where he is too.
Okay, where'd he go?
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross, yeah.
Yes, Holy Cross. I did not know that until I looked it up. But anyway, he did earn a scholarship to the College of the Holy Cross, which is in, does anybody know where it is?
Isn't it right next to Notre Dame?
No.
Or New York? I don't know.
Nope.
New Jersey?
The Holy Cross is in Indiana, right?
That is incorrect. It is in Massachusetts.
Oh.
Which is ironically,
Holy Cross listening, sorry.
Yeah, which is outside of Boston, about 40 miles. But even at that level, the game was not quite ready for him. As a freshman, he was part of Holy Cross's national championship team in 1946-47, but he was not the centerpiece. He actually shared time. He had to wait for his opportunity, just like John Stockton did. Now, when he finally stepped into a larger role as a sophomore, things did not immediately improve. His head coach, Alvin Julian, known as Doggy, I don't know what that means, but anyway.
Nicknames all the time back then were so random and made no sense.
Yeah, Doggy. Anyway, he saw Cousy as more of a showman than a disciplined player, and as a result, Cousy's minutes were limited, and he got frustrated. At one point, Cousy seriously considered transferring to St. John's, but Joe Lapchick encouraged him to stay at Holy Cross, a decision that would prove pivotal. The turning point came during a game against Loyola of Chicago, played at the Boston Garden, ironically, since Holy Cross's gym was not suitable for big matchups. Within 5 minutes of a game remaining, Holy Cross was down. Then something unusual happened. The crowd began to chant what? What do you think they were chanting?
Cousy, 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 Cousy.
Close enough. They were chanting, "We want Cousy. We want Cousy." And the chant grew louder and louder until the point that his coach had no choice but to respond, and Cousy was sent into the game. What followed was unforgettable. In the short span, Bob Cousy scored 11 points, but it was the final play that defined the moment. He did a spinning drive past a much larger defender. He did a behind-the-back dribble and a left-handed hook shot at the buzzer. Kind of like Kyrie. Who mentioned Kyrie earlier?
Yeah, Kyrie. That's a Kyrie move.
Yeah, it's a Kyrie move. So from that point forward, everything changed for Bob Cousy. Over under, how many All-American awards did he earn? Over under 2 in college.
Can it be equal?
Or equal.
I'll go equal.
Okay.
I'll go under.
Sorry, guys.
Aww.
It was over. Yeah, it was over. He got it 3 times, 3 All-American awards. And with that status, he became one of the most recognizable names in college basketball. By his senior year, 1949-1950, he led Holy Cross, get this, to 26 consecutive wins and a second place finish in the NIT. So sometimes a career and even a sport can shift in a single moment. For Bob Cousy, it started with a chant, a chance, and a style the game didn't yet know it needed. So what stands out to you guys about him at Holy Cross? Lucas?
I mean, another mid-major guy, Holy Cross, right? First off, I thought Holy Cross was right next to Notre Dame because I was thinking of the movie Rudy, and I thought that he went to Holy Cross there, but I could be wrong. Maurice is laughing because he knows what I'm referencing.
Yeah.
But no, look, I mean, another mid-major guy getting his chance, and especially in the Boston Garden, no wonder. But it's interesting that, not to steal your thunder, but the Celtics were not the original team that drafted him.
No, they were not.
Well, I think those are good points, especially if we're comparing two small, undersized point guards who maybe a lot of people didn't expect a lot from. It's not like he went to Kansas or another big school back then. Same thing with Stockton. He went to a small college where he grew up. Maurice, what stands out to you?
The way you said that, it sounds like a movie almost.
Yeah,
like
it does,
Hoosiers or
right?
something. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Nothing like some peer pressure to jumpstart your basketball career.
Yeah.
Just getting the crowd to say your name so the coach has no other option but to put you on the court. I guess he was like one of those players that just had a unique skill set, is the best way I can put it. And when he went out there, he completely changed the game. That led to him going to, Chicago, he was originally drafted by Chicago, and then Boston, changing the game forever from a point guard position.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to pass the ball to Lucas, who's going to give us some stats. You all set?
Yes, sir.
Second quarter. Statistics.
Here's what we got for John Stockton. He was listed at 6'1", 170 pounds. Gosh, guys, I haven't been 170 since college.
Okay.
He is currently 63 years old. He played 19 years in the NBA. He wore number 12 for his whole entire career. And he's had two sons play at high levels, including his son David Stockton, who was one of the better G League point guards and played about 6 games in the NBA with both the Sacramento Kings and Utah Jazz. That being said, we're going to go to what I believe, and we're talking about point guards, we're talking about past first point guards. So we're going to go with their best assist seasons. So we're going to go with the 89-90 season, where John Stockton averaged 17.2 points, 2.6 rebounds, 14.5 assists, 2.7 steals, which is not his career high in steals per game, by the way, 0.2 blocks, and only 3.5 turnovers and 3 fouls per game, while shooting 51.4% from the field, not his highest field goal percentage season, by the way, 41.6% from 3, and 81.9% from the foul line.
Good shooting.
I would say very efficient. He had one season 2 years before that he shot 57% from the field.
That was
and then going back to the
86,
steals
87?
per game, 57. And he also had one season where he averaged 3.2 steals per game.
Wow.
As as I noted in the intro, he led the league, 8 straight seasons in assists. He also led the league twice in steals, once in effective field goal percentage, and played 82 games, a handful of a lot of times, actually.
Yeah.
There was actually only one, including the season that I'm mentioning, 2 seasons, and then obviously the lockout season where he did not play 82 games.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember he played a lot of 82-game seasons. He didn't take a lot of games off.
No, he did not. And he was a starter basically from 87 till the end of his career.
Yeah. Well, he was drafted. He was drafted to back up Ricky Pierce, who was a really good Dallas Mavericks guard at the time. And he just overtook that job as soon as he got on the court because he was such a great facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was fantastic. So any thoughts on that elite playmaking season that he had?
Look, 14 assists. When I was growing up, guys, I used to have a sports almanac or NBA almanac. It was this thick, and I was obsessed with this book. I was always I always wanted to know how many rebounds centers averaged, how many points Jordan would average, or assists that Magic would average. And I always remember going to Stockton's page for the Utah Jazz, and his assist numbers were always elite. He always found a way to get his teammates involved. And it didn't hurt that he had one of the best power forward scorers of all time. So I think his assist numbers are, like you said earlier, Lucas, that record is unbreakable. I don't think we'll ever see anyone break that. But the assists, it's what he's known for, and rightfully so.
Yeah, if Chris Paul wasn't going to break it, then I don't see any point guard for the next generation breaking that.
I had hopes on Rajon Rondo possibly getting there, but then injuries. Longevity is a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to the all-time assist list after we're done with Bob Cousy. But
Yeah. Even in that era, when he was putting up 14 double-digit assists per year, we always looked at his counterpart, Magic, as like a great passer because it was more flashy.
Yeah.
And it was more of a highlight. But Stockton was just fundamentally one of the best point guards to ever really do it.
Yep.
I mean, by sheer number, if we're just going by who has the most assists, Stockton is the best point guard. Now, I would say that it's taking more than just assists, but I mean, look, I think that, we say he's a top 10 point guard. Why isn't he a top 5? Why isn't he number 1? There's a lot of factors to it. But if we're going just purely based off the passing here, you could argue that Stockton's the best. I mean, but obviously it's not just passing. Defensively, he's pretty good too, actually, if you look at the steals number.
Like I was mentioning, you're right. The goalposts have been moved so many times when it comes to who's considered the best. Now you got to put Steph Curry
but
in
even
there
during his prime,
because of the shooting and even going by your numbers, what was it, 41% from three, something like that? 47%?
Yeah, 41%.
For that season, yeah.
Granted, he was a low-volume three-point shooter.
But it was low volume. Obviously, in that era, he wasn't shooting a lot of threes, but he was still a very efficient shooter. I mean, he's won big-time game-winning playoff games off of shooting threes. So
against Houston.
And let's not he averaged for his career 2.2 steals. Let's not dismiss that. And the fact is like, okay, if you ask a normal everyday Joe, if you say who's a better point guard, John Stockton or Steve Nash, I bet you most people are going to say Steve Nash.
Yeah,
probably.
And I don't think that's fair. I think Stockton is a better point guard than Nash.
Yeah, and even in his time, Stockton had a reputation of being a really tough defender.
Yeah.
Like, some people even called him dirty.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but him and Malone together were a tandem for sure. But for his size, going back to my intro, 6'1", he wasn't a pushover at the point guard position when it came to defense.
He was not.
Yep.
So, as I do always, did John Stockton ever have a triple-double?
Of course. I would say yes. He played all those years. Yeah, he probably had
assist, points. He had to get 10 rebounds somewhere.
Okay, so here's how many triple-doubles he had.
What? He had zero triple-doubles?
So he had never had 10 rebounds.
Or steals. I mean, honestly, I was surprised about that. But let me go down to career highs game highs as we always do.
You see the rebounds.
So, over under 35 points as a career high.
35. I'll go under.
You go under?
I'll go equal.
Okay, Uriah is right.
Yeah.
Under 35?
It was 34.
34 points per game?
Career high. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, we know that Scott Skiles has the all-time assist in a single game, right?
Yeah, what, 25?
No,
it's like 31.
30. It's 30.
31.
Yeah, something like that. But what is, and a rebounds career high is 9, so he never got to 10, but he got close.
Okay. That's why he never had triple-double.
But in a career high of assist, over under 25.
Over.
Man, we're talking about John Stockton. I'm going to go over.
You are correct. It is 28.
Okay.
Wow, what a
He
game.
did that in 1990, the 1990-91 season.
That's
and
nuts.
it was against, let me pull that up for a second here, guys. It was
Everybody ate
against
that game.
Everybody.
the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
Hmm.
They
He
weren't a bad
played
team.
against David Robinson, Sean Elliott, Rod Strickland. We probably need to do a comp on him at some point. Willie Anderson, Dave Greenwood, Sidney Green, Sean Higgins, Paul Pressey.
Personally.
Anyway, 28 as a career high. That I feel like that has to be second all time. I'm not sure. I'm not saying just my suspicion, but I don't know. 9 steals as a career high. 3 blocks, which is pretty impressive for a 6'1" guy, right?
Yeah.
And then 10 turnovers. That only happened in one season. It was actually the same game that he had not same game. It was the same season that he had the 28 points. Let me see if it was the same game. Give me a second here.
All right, so while you're doing that, I pulled it up real quick. A notable name was number 2. It was Scott Skiles with 30.
Scott Skiles and
29 was
I feel like I know this.
Kevin
Johnson?
Porter. Kevin Porter.
Kevin Porter? 29
Yes.
assists? Oh.
No, not the current Kevin
The
Porter. The
senior.
old Kevin Porter.
Kevin
older
Porter
Kevin.
Senior, yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
hear that.
Nets, 1978. Stockton had 28. Then Stockton had a game with 27 and 89. And then Porter again and Stockton both have 26.
Now, do you guys want to know how many turnovers Stockton had in that game with 28 assists?
He had 2.
3.
5. Only 5.
5.
But still.
So good.
Yeah.
Played 39 minutes. Had 20 points in that game too, by the way.
Okay.
Based off of all these, what impresses you guys the most about this? Or what's your biggest
Obviously,
takeaway?
20 is nice.
Well, I guess the biggest takeaway would be he knew his role. And when I say that, back then, I'm sure guys had an opportunity to stat pad. There were people who accused Moses Malone of stat padding, like rebounds, missing on purpose to get another, get an offensive rebound. It's kind of hard for a 6'1" guard to stat pad unless you're playing the passing lanes a little more. It's just you could try to get steals for that triple double or rebounds, being in the paint more than you should when you should be more in a position to play transition defense. But Stockton knew his role. Score if you have to, pass the ball to Karl Malone. Get everyone involved. So the assists, again, that was his most critical position, and he played his role to perfection.
The best facilitator of his generation. You can make that claim very easily. Now, is there a difference between facilitating and just passing? That's up to your opinion. Magic Johnson was a great passer, but John Stockton just put the ball where it needed to be. And we need to talk about the offense itself. Jerry Sloan's pick and roll offense compared to like a Showtime. Two different type of passing, but still both of them very effective. And I put Stockton ahead of Magic Johnson in just that category of facilitating, getting guys open, leading to scores.
Okay. Magic did have a little advantage though.
He was 6'8".
having
6'9".
8 or 9 inches where you could see the floor better.
Yeah, that's
so that just shows you how special Stockton was to get that many assists and not have the height to see over defenders.
Yeah,
sure.
No, absolutely. So there are 3, before we move on to the hardwood Houdini, I do want to go over 3 franchise stats that John Stockton has. He has the most games played for the Jazz with 1,504. Obviously assists, but I'm curious, who do you guys think is second all-time in assist leader for the Jazz?
Oh, that's easy. I'll let Maurice figure it out first, though. That's easy.
Maravich?
No.
You say who? Maravich? He's number 8.
He wasn't there long, was he?
You're overthinking, man. We covered him.
No, we haven't.
We haven't? It's not Darren Williams?
Darren Williams is 4th.
What?
Ooh.
In Utah assists?
In Utah assists, yep.
Oh, man.
Darren Williams is a good 1,000.
You're right. I was so confident.
I'm so wrong. Let me go ahead and bang myself. All right.
So who is it?
Overconfident.
Here's the crazy part. It was Karl Malone.
Oh, Karl Malone, because he played like 20 years.
Maybe like
And
give and
then
go. I don't know.
Stockton is first all time in steals, total steals. Who is second all time?
In steals?
Yeah.
Utah?
Yeah.
I don't know. Karolinko?
Good guess. He's fourth.
Just say Malone. Let's go Malone.
Malone.
Yeah, Malone is actually correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. By default.
By
Like
default.
participation, longevity, durability.
Some of them loose balls was credited to Karl Malone instead, I guess.
All right. We're going to go ahead and shift gears now. This is Bob Cousy, guys, the Houdini of the hardwood himself, the frantic Frenchman. He is also 6'1", 175 pounds. Yet again, wasn't that weight since college. Look, he is still alive, and he is 97 years old today.
Still kicking.
Still kicking. He was born in 1928. Put that into perspective. Almost 100 years ago, guys.
Almost 100 years.
He played 14 years in the NBA. So I would say the last one was very weird. He wore 2 jerseys. Of course, we know Boston with the number 14. What number did he play with the Cincinnati Royals when he was the player coach? I guys probably don't know that. I'm not going to make you guys guess.
That's too hard.
It's 19. It was 19.
Okay. I was actually going to say that, but whatever.
Sure you were. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go with the 1959-60 season. My dad wasn't even born yet.
59-60.
Yes, as his highest assist per game season. And we're going to go with, because we're talking past first guys here, we're going to go with that season being his best. He averaged 19.4 points, 4.7 rebounds, 9.5 assists, has no steals, turnovers, blocks, none of that. He shot 38.4% from the field and 79.2% from the foul line.
All right.
To put into
32%.
perspective, yes, to put into perspective, his highest field goal percentage in his career was the 54-55 season, where he only shot 39.7%
From the field.
from the field.
Okay.
There is no 3-point line, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously no.
Way before the 3-point line.
Well, did they even document like blocks and steals back then?
Nope, they didn't do that until the year after Russell retired.
Yeah, so obviously all that is zero. But yeah, we're talking about, this is not the 7 seconds or less offense we're talking about here. We're talking about.
Well, it was very innovative, and it was the fastest paced offense that they was during that time.
And that's because of Bob Cousy.
Yes. And Russell running the floor, but yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to compare the offenses and the shooting numbers from the 50s and 60s to now. I mean, it's just completely different. But I will say that their offense, I mean, pretty much what you just said, Lucas, their offense was high pace for that era. And that led to them, when they got the players, shout out Red Auerbach, when they got the right players, they were unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, the assists truly stand out, because when you think about basketball, right before Cousy got into the league, it was really a lot of set shots, like boring, like just chucking the ball up without dribbling. Push shot. Yeah, it was not exciting to watch. And the NBA was struggling, or basketball itself, were like a lot of hockey owners of hockey teams who were experimenting with the whole idea of commercializing basketball and having fans in the stands. It was a boring sport. And then Cousy comes along and starts doing all this behind the back dribbling and passing and stuff. He elevated the entertainment value for basketball, and he set the tone for what basketball could be for players like Pete Maravich, who we covered, Magic Johnson, Kyrie Irving. So Bob Cousy needs to get props. I mean, let's give him his flowers. He's still alive, guys.
Yes. So we're going to go to career highs now. Now, we know John Stockton's career high in scoring was 34. So is it less than, equal to, or greater than Stockton's 34?
Less than.
You say less than.
I'm going to go less than too.
Okay, you are both
What?
46. Put respect on that man's name. 46 points.
A 46
bad.
piece. Nice.
Not bad.
In the same season that I mentioned, too, the 59-60 season, he had 46 points. Okay. So, rebounds, surprisingly here, are 17.
Wow. Okay.
And then, I don't know if Maurice May said this, but assists, when we were talking about career highs and assists, but we said that Stockton's was 28. Is it more, less than, or equal to this?
28
less than.
assists.
Yeah, exactly.
28
Yes.
assists.
I think it's less than, yeah.
You think less than, Maurice?
Less than.
According to Basketball Reference, you are both wrong.
What?
Huh?
28
So it's tie.
is the tie.
Oh, okay. I like ties when we do our features.
Yeah,
What,
so
the Basketball Reference said that?
Basketball Reference, and I can pull up the game. Give me a second. It was against the Minneapolis Lakers.
Okay.
It was against Elgin Baylor, Hot Rod Hudley.
Okay. So he got 28 assists.
28
That's
assists,
nice.
yeah.
That's a great stat to have.
This
for a
wasn't
career
even, Bill Russell wasn't even playing this game.
high. Okay.
Any thoughts on the career highs here? The fact that they have a tie here on assists is pretty interesting.
All I'm going to say is, my bad, Bob Cousy. I got to put more respect on your name, man.
Darn
You were
right
do-
you do.
You were
Yeah.
doing your thing back then, and we're going to recognize you for your greatness today.
46 points. Bob
Yes.
Cousy putting the ball in the bucket. I do recall when he was playing in college, he was known as a good scorer and not just a passer, which might be the distinction between Stockton and Cousy. Cousy, I think, maybe needed to score a little bit more when he was playing. Because remember, if you're comparing their teammates, whether you have Karl Malone, who's known for scoring, and then you have Bill Russell, not known for scoring.
I was about to say the only other offensive weapon that they had didn't come until after he retired, actually, John Havlicek.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Havlicek came in like the last season of Cousy's career, I think.
Yeah.
Who averaged more points, Cousy or Stockton?
I'm actually going to say Stockton, even though Cousy had the career high.
I'm going to say Cousy. I think Cousy averaged more.
Cousy, yes.
I'm right.
Yes.
Can you say it?
Uriah, you are 100% correct. Did you need that? Did you need that today,
I
bud?
need a boost of confidence. You know.
Okay,
I
well,
gotta feel
maybe you
better
can
about
get a
myself.
second one here. Rebounds per game. Who had the
Okay.
higher career average?
Cousy.
I'm going to say Stockton.
Okay, well, Uriah's confidence is taking a dip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. The rest of these are dominated by Stockton. Stockton averaged 3 more assists per game than Cousy, and then the rest of these were, well, we talked about the field goal and foul percentage. It's not even close. I will say both are in the Hall of Fame, and actually, I'm not going to steal any more Maurice's thunder. But before I go, I do want to note one other thing. So we know that Stockton is first on the all NBA, ABA all-time assist leaders. Cousy is 22nd.
Okay.
How many active? There are 4 active players that are between the two of them. Who are those active players?
With assists,
Yes.
Yeah, that's gotta
assist
be-
per total assist.
Obviously, LeBron.
LeBron.
Okay.
Does Chris Paul count?
Chris
No.
Paul is not considered active now. He is not active on the list. He is second all time though. LeBron is 4th.
Assists.
Somebody just came to 5th recently in the NBA. I'm surprised you guys didn't say him first.
Is it Steph Curry?
No, Steph Curry's not in the top. Is about 200 away from Cousy.
And that's actually a pretty good point to make, because we consider Steph a great point guard, but facilitating wasn't his thing. Shooting was his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he just made news the other night.
Durant.
Oh, Durant, he is actually 60 something on this list, but he's 67th on this list, but he
Is
is
it
not.
Mike Conley, is he in there?
Mike Conley is actually about 30 assists ahead of Steph Curry, but still below Bob Cousy. Come on, guys. One of these guys is on Ben's favorite team.
A Sixer?
Yeah. Come on,
Kyle
guys.
Lowry?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He is 19th. Another one
Wow.
of these guys used to be a former Sixer, still in the NBA.
Drew Holiday?
No, though he is approaching this list too. He is 29th.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Former Sixer, still in the NBA.
Help us out. I give up.
He's known for his iconic facial hair, guys.
Oh, Anthony Davis.
No. Not eyebrows, facial hair.
That counts, right? It counts.
No,
Okay.
unibrow. No, James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I'm disappointed.
James
in you
Harden. Oh,
Ah.
yeah. We dropped the ball.
You
on
guys
that.
are disappointing. Gosh.
dropped the ball on that,
And then
yeah.
Russell Westbrook just passed Steve Nash like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's true.
Come on, guys.
I don't know. It's Sunday. My brain's not.
James
working.
is 12th. Russ is 5th.
Okay.
And Kyle's 19th.
I think Ben would have gotten those if he was here.
Ben would have gotten them. We
Yeah.
miss you, Ben.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, I yield the floor to whoever's doing the accolades because I don't think I am. Am I?
That would be me.
Third quarter, accolades.
Going to get into some accolades now. I have some numbers up. I'll go with John Stockton. John Stockton played 19 seasons. John Stockton is the record holder for assist leader. He had 9 years in a row. He led the NBA in assists. 9 years. I think Lucas mentioned that.
I said 8. I miscounted, but yeah, you're right. It's 9.
Well, you might have been confused with the other guy because I'll just jump ahead.
Yeah, I mean, he did it
say
8
that
years, so yeah.
Cousy had 8 years of leading the league in assists. Let me go with MVP awards. Did John Stockton win MVP ever?
No.
No.
He did not win the league MVP. Could he have? Possibly. I mean, the guy led the league in assists, and he had
Karl
a
Malone
winning
always
record.
got the more shine on that team, which wasn't unnecessarily fair.
Yeah, that's true. And John Stockton this is crazy, 19 years he made the playoffs. 19 years he led the Jazz to postseason success. It's
Every
crazy.
season.
Stockton, we all know, came close but never won an NBA title. As far as NBA first teams, how many NBA first teams did John Stockton get? I'll give you over under 3.
We'll go
I
over.
think it's under.
Under?
4.
I think it's under.
Maurice, this is for you.
I
He
knew it.
made all NBA first team 2 times.
Yeah,
2
you got to
times.
imagine first Magic and then Gary Payton and then the up and coming point guards in the late
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
He never
I mean,
stood a
but-
chance.
That's a
Gary
hard list to crack.
Payton- No, I'm not crapping on Gary Payton, but Stockton was a better guard overall.
Gary
Yeah.
Payton actually really respected
Stockton.
Stockton. When he was telling a young point guard, and I forgot who it was, the guy was getting interviewed.
Yep.
He was like, "You call him Mr. Stockton."
Yeah, I saw that too, Lucas. That was interesting. However, he did make quite a few all NBA teams, including second and third. He earned 11 all NBA nods. And the one thing that distinguishes these players is their defense. John Stockton made 5 all defensive teams. 5. That's unbelievable. And that's pretty much it, guys. He never won an MVP. He led
How
the
many
league.
All-Stars?
He did win an All-Star Game MVP.
I think you're right. As far as All-Stars, he made the All-Star team 10 times.
Only
10-time
10?
All-Star. Yeah.
I know his first 3 years he wasn't started. First 4
Yeah.
years he wasn't starting.
After like 98, he kind of phased out a little bit.
I mean, but he was still averaging double-digit assists until like his last season.
Yeah, but at that point, you got Darren Williams, Chris Paul's in the league.
Jason Kidd.
Yeah,
Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, I think.
Penny Hardaway. Think about
Steph
that
Curry, Stephen Marbury.
Yep, that's a good point. Yep. All right, so what stands out to you guys related to the awards that John Stockton earned? I'll go with Lucas first.
I almost say it's underwhelming.
Really? What's
I-
underwhelming?
I think he should have had more All-NBAs or more All-Stars. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. I know you guys were, but like I wasn't really there. So
11 all NBA teams is good.
I mean,
11.
I know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they kind of go what Lucas was saying. He was a little underappreciated. He wasn't flashy like I mentioned earlier. He wasn't like that highlight guy, but
Mm.
we were just talking about him and Gary Payton. Gary Payton was known as the glove, but John Stockton had 5 all defensive teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, Stockton wasn't a bad defender himself. At that point, we were in the highlight era. People want to see highlights.
Do you guys think that his lack of championships hurt his prestige?
No.
Well,
No, absolutely
no,
not.
under the circumstances. He
Yeah.
played Jordan twice in the finals.
Yeah.
Took him 6 games.
Did he do good in those finals? I don't know. I'm asking.
Yes. Yeah.
He was a playoff riser. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Karl Malone was the leading scorer as expected. Yeah, I don't think that really impacts his legacy. All right, so those are the awards for John Stockton. Now I want to give you the awards for Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy is a 6-time NBA champion, so he has 6 rings, played on a great team, had a great coach in Red Auerbach. He played 14 total seasons. Like Stockton, he made the playoffs plenty of times, but not as many. He made the playoffs 13 times. He did have more All-Star appearances than John Stockton. Bob Cousy played in the All-Star game 13 times. Was Bob Cousy a league MVP?
Yes.
Okay,
Maurice?
I'm going to go Lucas on this one.
Lucas is correct. As far as all NBA first teams, he really blows Stockton out of
I was about to say he got almost all of them, if not all of them.
He got, well, let's see if you can give me a number.
Oof.
For over under 12 all NBA first teams.
He played 14 seasons. I know the last season where he was a player coach, he was not that good.
I'm going to go over. I'm going to go 13.
Okay.
I'm going to go under because Jerry came into the league and there had to have been at least one other player that probably played. I'm going to say, is equal to an option?
Yeah, sure.
I'll say equal to.
You overthought it.
It was under, wasn't
You
it?
were right. You're right. It was under.
Yeah.
So Bob Cousy made the all NBA first team 10 times, which is still pretty damn good. Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
All NBA total teams, he made 12. So he
Mhm.
still was recognized for that. Did he make any all defensive teams?
Oh, gosh. He was the worst defender on his team, but that doesn't mean much.
I'm say no.
That team was elite defensively. They don't have steals or blocks, so I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go no.
Yeah, I'll say he made one. I'll say he made
Okay.
one.
Maurice?
0.
No. Maurice, you're correct. Yeah, so he did not make any all defensive teams. I mean, who needs that when you have Bill Russell, one of the greatest defenders, clogging in the paint?
Yeah.
As far as assists leader, he did lead the NBA 8 times in assists, like Lucas said, but he never led the league in steals like Stockton
Well,
did.
they weren't recording steals back then.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. So those are pretty much all the accolades for Bob Cousy. What stands out, Maurice, related to his awards?
We got to take into account Bob Cousy was one of the first superstars of the NBA. Right there with George Mikan.
Yeah, it was Mikan and then him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he claims the fame that he was the first All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a clip of that because 1950 was the first NBA All-Star team, and he was one of the top guys. You could even say he was a trendsetter because all the point guards after him kind of duplicated his game, his play style.
Isaiah.
Yeah, a lot of players attribute Bob Cousy's style of play to, the players of the 70s and 80s. So,
Mhm.
We just gave you the awards for these 2 great point guards. Now Maurice is going to take it over and give us the teammates.
I'm excited
Yes.
for this.
Fourth quarter, teammates.
let's talk about John Stockton teammates. Of course, he was drafted with the 16th pick of the 1984 NBA draft by the Utah Jazz. Some of his teammates were, and then we're going to start with his rookie season, of course, 1984, 1985. Anybody remember their coach? I think Uriah knows this.
It wasn't Jerry Sloan. I think it was
No.
Layden, Frank Layden.
Yeah, Frank Layden.
Okay.
He was the executive also. They went 41-41. They went to the second round of the playoffs and they lost to the Denver Nuggets 4-1.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, some of his teammates were some notable names: Adrian Dantley,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thurl Bailey,
Yep. Thurl Bailey.
a
Forward.
player that we're going to do a comp on, Mark Eaton.
Hey,
Yes.
Mark Eden, let's go.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, Ricky Green, who's a really good player.
Yep.
Daryl Griffith.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilkins, and John Drew.
Okay. I pretty much know everybody on there except the last two guys. Ricky
Yeah.
Green played for the Sixers for a hot minute.
He did? I didn't know that. Yeah. Before Karl Malone got drafted, the year before Karl Malone got drafted, this was a okay team. They were going to reshape their roster, but Mark Eaton was a really good big at that time. We're going to highlight him for sure. I'm going to move on a decade almost to the 1996-97 Utah Jazz. This is the team that lost to the Chicago Bulls in the finals, the first finals that they played against each other. I highlighted this team because they won the most games. How many games did they win that season?
Ooh, it was like 63?
Yeah, it's something in the 60s. I'll say 62.
64.
Oh,
We were so close.
so close. It
Yeah.
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their record was 64-18. Their coach, of course, was Jerry Sloan, and their executive was Scott Layden. So I'm assuming that's Frank Layden's son. Without even doing much research, I'm definitely sure of that one. All right. And of course, like I mentioned, they lost 4-2 to the Bulls in the NBA Finals. Some of his teammates were Shannon Anderson, Antoine Carr, Howard Isley, Jeff Hornacek, who was actually a really good teammate for
I like Jeff Hornacek.
John Stockton.
I liked him a lot.
Yeah, former Sixer.
He was a Sixer for a hot minute. There's my Ben reference.
Yep. He came in the Charles Barkley trade. Greg Ostertag.
Big
I
man.
know
Byron
that
Russell.
name.
Byron Russell.
Byron Russell
If
got crossed
you've
over
seen The
by
Last
Jordan.
Dance, if you've seen The Last
Yeah.
Dance, you know who Byron Russell is. Of course, Karl Malone, Adam Keefe. Really good roster construction here. Obviously, Stockton and Malone were the two, and they had some really good backups. Really good support from Hornacek. Antoine Carr was actually a really good power forward for a hot minute there. Shannon Anderson and Byron Russell did the thing. This was a really good team. They ran into Jordan. What else can you say?
They all ran into Jordan.
Yeah, they all ran into Jordan. Obviously, when I do the most teammates with the most wins, obviously, it's Karl Malone.
Yeah,
Hands down.
Yeah,
It's Karl Malone by a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do over-under. How many games did John Stockton and Karl Malone win together? The number is 950. 150 wins.
Ooh. I think they're actually one of the few duos that went over 1,000 games together. So I think it's 1,000.
I'll go over too, yeah.
All right, it's over, but it's not 1,000.
Really? Okay.
No. It's 991.
So close.
Hey, can we guess who had the second most wins? With
I would
John
know
Stockton?
that.
I mentioned his name.
Second
so
most
sure.
wins. Second most wins. I think I'll go. It's not Hornacek because he got traded, like you mentioned earlier.
Byron Russell?
A hint. They played 9 seasons together.
That doesn't help me. I wasn't alive during this or wasn't.
Karl Malone and
Todd.
Karl Malone played 18 seasons together. Of course, they were number one.
John Stockton played there forever. Who else played there forever for a long
I mentioned
time?
his name.
Was it Mark Eaton? No, wasn't it Mark
No,
Eaton?
he didn't last. that
I'm
long.
going to say Thurl Bailey.
All right. Lucas?
What's the guy whose last name started with an O?
Ostertag?
Ostertag? Oh, that's a good
Ostertag.
one.
I'll say
That's a good
Ostertag.
one.
Actually, should have went your first thought, and Lucas kind of like snubbed you there, but it's Mark Eaton.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
How long did he play there?
9 seasons.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
I completely.
You said they didn't play
not
long together. They
remember
played 9 seasons together.
I didn't.
They-
I thought he only played in the 80s.
that. That's
I
what I
didn't realize-
thought.
Yeah, I thought Mark Eaton played in the late 70s, early 80s, not
Yeah.
not the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I got it wrong. No. Actually, Mark Eaton is third with 446.
Okay.
Number
Okay.
2 was somebody else, and you didn't mention to me, Byron Russell.
I
Okay.
did say, I was like, is it Byron Russell? No? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
It was 476. I got the numbers mixed up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was in the 90s. That's when the Jazz were super good for a long time.
yeah.
And I was a wee lad.
Yeah.
And actually speaking, let me say something. The winning percentage. Okay, the winning percentage is pretty close. All right. So, yeah, Karl Malone, Byron Russell, Mark Eaton are the top 3 guys he's won the most games with.
All right.
I'm going to move on to his last season, 2002-2003, Utah Jazz. Way past everyone's prime. They lost in the first round to the Kings 4-1.
Ooh.
They went 47-35. Their coach was Jerry Sloan. Their executive was Kevin O'Connor. Some of his teammates were. This is around Lucas's era, so he might get more of these guys.
2003 was a little bit before I was too comfortable, but I can try my best.
All right. Carlos Arroyo.
I remember Carlos
Yep.
Arroyo.
Yeah. Calbert Chaney.
No.
Okay.
I remember Calbert Chaney. He used to play with the
Yeah.
Wizards, with the
Yeah.
Bullets back then.
He went to Indiana, I remember.
Matt Harpring, former Sixer.
Hey, Matt Harpring.
Yeah. Good shooter.
He was like the Nick Collison of that team.
Yeah. Mark Jackson.
Oh, Jackson played for the Jazz? I had no
Yes.
idea.
Backup
That's
probably at that
interesting.
point.
Karolinko.
Yeah.
Karolinko.
Yeah.
AK-47.
Karl Malone was actually on this team. I think this was the year he got. Was this a year? I think the year.
This was his
before he got
last
traded.
year because the year after he went to the Lakers.
Yeah. Okay. Tony Massenberg. Deshaun
Don't know who that
Stevenson.
is. Hey,
Deshaun
Deshaun Stevenson. I love Deshaun.
Yeah. That was pretty much their roster the last season.
Okay.
47 wins ain't
That's
bad
right,
though. I mean,
because that's right, because Carlos Boozer didn't go there until the year after.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So, what teammate stands out the most besides Karl Malone? Which teammate stands out the most throughout the career of John Stockton?
Clearly, Matt Harpring. I don't even know what anybody's questioning.
Matt Harpring. Yeah, okay. Allow me to inject some logic into this response.
It's only one good answer. I like this one.
I think it's Jeff Hornacek because Jeff Hornacek was the second guard in that rotation in terms of the starting lineup. And without Hornacek's excellent shooting and good decision-making, I think the Jazz don't make those finals runs. And although he got owned by Jordan in the finals. I mean, but who doesn't?
Defensively, they were terrible.
Right. But Hornacek had a sweet J, and he was with Phoenix for a while. So we know that he was used to playing with an elite point guard like Kevin Johnson. So once he came to the Jazz, it was like he just picked up where he left off, and he knew his role. He was a great shooter from 3-point line, and he could get to the bucket too, but he was not throwing it down like, let's say, Shannon Anderson or Byron Russell. But for his role, he was an excellent player. And I think Hornacek probably deserves a comp too, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. I remember in that playoff series, in their playoff run in the late 90s, that duo of Hornacek and Stockton, man, they were killer from outside.
They were.
They made like every jumper. I remember them making like every jumper. Now defensively, bigger guards beat them up, but they were really good together.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I could say Mark Eaton, but I actually don't want to say a player. I want to say their coach. I mean, Jerry Sloan. I mean, Jerry Sloan was Utah Jazz basketball for basically close to 30 years, really.
Yep.
When I first started watching basketball, they were like, oh, yeah, Jerry Sloan, longest tenured coach in NBA history. Yeah, all that stuff. And it was true. He was. And, it was sad to see how the Darren Williams thing worked out at the end for him. But, like, Jerry Sloan was that guy. And to bridge to our next person, Jerry Sloan actually played against Bob Cousy in one game. Now, let me ask you guys this. Who won that game? Was it Jerry Sloan or Bob Cousy?
Sloan was younger than Cousy, so I'm going to say Cousy lost that because he's a little older.
Okay, what about you?
Sloan.
So actually, Cousy won that game.
What?
It was a 70 year, right?
Yeah, his one year in Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get to that Cincinnati team. He had some good players on that team. All right, let's get to Bob Cousy. All right, so Bob Cousy, weird draft, like Lucas mentioned earlier, but he was drafted by the Chicago, well, not even Chicago at the time, the Tri-City Blackhawks with the fourth pick in the first round. Then he was moved to the Chicago Stag, was predated the Chicago Bulls, so not even the same franchise.
Wow.
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls, their first year were known as the Zephyrs. That's why they had those weird jerseys in the 2000s. Anyway, but yeah.
Let's get to some of his teammates. And I'm going to start with his rookie season, the 1950-1951 Boston Celtics. They were 39-30. Anybody know the coach?
Ooh,
It wasn't red.
I have no idea.
Or was it red? I don't know. I don't remember.
It was Red Auerbach.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was. He was the coach and executive. I think people tend to forget that, but yeah. Some of his teammates were. And by the way, these names from the 1950s, so probably don't remember none of these names actually. Besides Ed McCauley. Ed McCauley was the notable. He was the notable, player, teammate with Bob Cousy. He's a Hall of Famer. He was a 7-time All-Star player, averaged 17, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Chuck Cooper, Andy Duncan, Bob Harris, Ed Lead, Bones McKinney, like that.
Bones, like Bones Highland.
Yeah. So, like I said, these aren't like names that's going to jump out the page for anybody, unless you're like 80, 90 years old and a real basketball hooper. Yeah, they went 39-30. This was the beginning of the transition to a dynasty. Now let's get into the dynasty. Let's get to 1956-57 Boston Celtics. They won the NBA championship that year. This was, once again, coached by Auerbach, executive Auerbach. They won 44-28. Back then, and once again, back then, the playoffs was only like 2 rounds. So they beat the Syracuse Nationals 3-0. And then in the finals, they beat the St. Louis Hawks.
Bob Petty.
Yes, Bob Petty. Let's go through that team real quick. Bob Petty. Actually, Ed McCauley was on that team. So
they had to trade Ed McCauley for Russell.
Wait, Bob Pettit was on the Celtics?
No. He was on the St. Louis Hawks.
Okay.
The team that they beat in the finals 4-3.
Okay. Yeah, they had to trade McCauley for Russell's draft rights because originally St. Louis drafted Russell, but they didn't really want him.
Good job, Lucas.
Yep, that's true.
Some of the players on that team was Cliff Hagan, Ed McCauley, Bob Pettit. So yeah, they beat them 4-3 in the finals. But back to Cousy. Some of his teammates on that championship team were Tommy Hyson, Bill Russell, Bill Sharman, Andy Phillips, and Jack Nichols.
Yep.
All right.
Casey Jones wasn't on that team?
No, he was not.
Not yet.
Oh, Casey got drafted the year after Russell. That's right.
It wasn't the year after. The year after, they got Sam Jones.
They got Sam Jones. Casey played with Russell in college. That's why I'm curious.
Yeah.
Casey Jones comes in the 58-59 season.
2 years after. Gotcha.
So 2 years after. Now they have Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Tommy Hyson, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, Bill Sharman, Frank Ramsey. Like, this is like Boston Celtics legends.
Hang on, Frank Ramsey. Are we talking about the same Frank Ramsey who was the coach of the Lakers in the early 80s with Magic?
No, Sharman. Sharman was the coach.
GM.
Yes, he was.
Wasn't he the coach?
I'm thinking of Jack Ramsey. I'm not thinking.
Not Jack Ramsey.
Yeah.
Frank Ramsey was a Hall of Fame player, 7-time NBA champion.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to move on to. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's do the wins and losses. Let's do wins. Who won the most games with Bob Cousy as a teammate? I mentioned his name. It's more difficult than the Stockton one. I'll say that.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not.
And the numbers, I'll
Russell.
give you the number. They won 472 games together.
I'll go Heinsohn.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Heinsohn as well because Russell.
Yeah, you was going to say that. Really?
Is it
You was gonna
Heinsohn?
say? No,
Is
it's not
it
Heinsohn. It's Bill
Oh, it's
Sharman.
not. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
It was Bill Sharman. You guys mentioned Bill Sharman. 172 wins. Number 2 with 420 is Frank Ramsey.
Oh, okay.
And 3 is Tommy Heinsohn.
Oh, okay.
Him and Bill Russell played 7 seasons together. They won 393 games together.
Okay.
Their win percentage together was 72.6.
Oof.
Wow. 7 out of every 10 games. That is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Now, Bob Cousy, he retired for a couple seasons, came back as a coach, and then became a player coach for the Cincinnati Royals.
Mm.
So he was the coach. I think this is the first time we've highlighted a player that was a coach also, wasn't it?
Bill Russell.
Oh, Bill Russell, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
They weren't that good, though. And it's crazy because he had like 3 Hall of Famers on his team. There was 36 and 46.
Okay, I know one Hall of Famer. Who's the other 2?
The Hall of Famers are Jerry Lucas,
Who?
Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
Those are the 2.
I thought you said there were 3.
Oh, and Bob Cousy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I thought you meant 3 others besides
Yeah.
him. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
Including.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who Jerry Lucas is.
Old-time player.
Old school.
I guess.
Old school, 7-time All-Star. Played with the Cincinnati. Then he played a couple years with the Knicks, too. San Francisco Warriors. When we think of Bob Cousy, we don't necessarily think of him playing with Oscar Robertson. But,
No.
Nope.
I mean, they were on the same team. And he coached
They
them.
were. They were. They were.
And that's
So
something I'm happy to learn. I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know
So that's
that.
a trivia question. Which Hall of Fame point guard coached Oscar Robertson?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
there
crazy.
you go. I mean, yeah. Huh. Go figure.
So let me ask the same question. Which teammate stands out the most besides Bill Russell?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I grew up watching these teams, right?
Yeah, you did.
I'm that old
This
because
was
Lucas
your
likes
era.
to take shots.
You know,
at my
it's
age.
funny because recently on 14 Rings, Reese has been subjugated to having to wear his glasses for our draft episodes.
Okay.
So you might not be
Old
as
man.
old as you think.
I do need readers, though. I can't read.
He said readers, not glasses, guys. He said readers. He said readers, not glasses.
All right, so I'll go first. Here's who stands out to me, guys. A guy named Chuck Cooper. And we are proud to be known as a podcast that gives history and nostalgia. Here's a little history lesson. So Chuck Cooper was the first African-American basketball player
Yes.
chosen in the entire league.
Yes, he was.
His historical significance needs to ring out. So Chuck Cooper played alongside Bob Cousy, and Bob Cousy is famously known for being a supporter of players like Chuck Cooper and Bill Russell, knowing that segregation was that's the norm in the South. So there were instances where he decided to show solidarity with the black players. And when it came to traveling with the team or the lodging, there were some times they couldn't stay at the same hotel. And Cousy was like, no, that's not how it's going to happen. So he was a leader on that team. He led by example. He was supportive of his black teammates. And I think, in my opinion, besides Bill Russell, I think that's the teammate that stands out because Cousy was one of those guys that saw what was going on around the country and said, sports is something that brings people together. And as a leader of this team, I'm going to take whatever criticism that comes my way. And he, I guess, like you said earlier, Lucas, growing up in New York, being Jewish and French, he probably could relate.
Yeah, obviously you go Russell, and I would say Russell, but like Tommy Heinsohn was another like trademark of that team during that era, and they played together for a long time. And like you said, Maurice, they won the third amount of games together, third most games together. So pretty impressive there too.
Yeah,
Tommy
and
Heinsohn.
Tommy Heinsohn is well known for being an announcer.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
for the
too.
Celtics.
Like,
Yeah,
great voice, great commentator. Yeah.
He's
been
like
a
what, 80? How old is he now?
He died in 2020.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he passed away.
Well, dang.
He was a pillar of the Boston Celtics organization for a very long time. That's it for the teammate section. 2 Hall of Famers we highlighted. Both of them have a tremendous resume and tremendous teammates that helped them out to be the greats that they are.
Now that we've given you all the facts on John Stockton and Bob Cousy, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion, it's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform. You can find us on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads.
For the sources of information used in this episode, you can visit our website, nbanowandthen.com. Also, visit our website to sign up for our monthly newsletter and check out our comparison articles. And with that, as Maurice said, we did our best to give you a comprehensive feature on these 2 players with our comparison. Again, giving flowers when flowers are due. John Stockton is still around. I think he just got a coaching job, assistant coaching job with the Jazz, if I'm not mistaken. And Bob Cousy is still kicking. So kudos to those guys and all the contributions they made to the NBA. But on behalf of Lucas Johnson and Maurice Huggins, I'm Uriah with Basketball Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Au revoir. The defensive issues wouldn't be as issuey as they are now, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm getting off track though. You guys save me from myself, please.
I will gladly shut you down.
Thank you.
Okay.
I needed that.